Heed the warning of this warning sign. Would you give up work if you won the lottery? I suppose it depends on how much you won. What if it was £1,000,000? What would you buy? You could afford lots of luxury holidays for that. So, would you give up van life? If you won £1,000,000, would you sell your campervan? Give up that campervan lifestyle? Or would you just improve it, take it to the next level? This week I have encountered 3 vehicles which I would buy, but that'd just be the start if I won. I'm going to show you what those were, and also some options and ideas which I've had. One of which I am seriously considering, and no, I haven't won £1,000,000, but if I was to receive an incredible offer on it, then I might just go for it. There is a lesson in this video, a response to a statement that I hear and see rather a lot, and this point really does enforce it. Earlier this week, RevComps did a £1,000,000 draw.
One of you is about to become a millionaire.
Right guys, bottom corner of your screen, £1,000,000 cash.
A far better chance of winning the jackpot than the lottery. It was a 1 in 200,000 chance, I think it was, as opposed to about 1 in 45 million for the Lotto's jackpot draw. And I was sat there patiently waiting for the numbers to be drawn, thinking, where would I go first? What would I buy? There is obviously paying off the mortgage, family, friends, etc. But after that, what would I do? And I was thinking perhaps, how about the amazing Morello motorhome? How amazing that would be. You know, you've seen those, the great big luxury motorhomes. They really are something else, and certainly do gather quite a lot of attention at the NEC show. There's many people often waiting to take their turn to get inside. No doubt they're going to be at the NEC show, which is coming up very soon in February, and I'm going to be there as I usually am, and that's probably going to be the Tuesday and the Wednesday. So if you do see me, then do come over and say hello. But anyway, after I was thinking about the Morello, I thought it's probably not really for me. As luxurious, as comfortable and grand as it may be, it's just not for me. And I kind of want to come down a little bit to the perhaps more affordable and not coach built, but more on that coming up in the next few weeks. I would definitely go for a big campervan though, a VW crafter based vehicle. Obviously the new refresh model with that modern interior, the digital displays. This would be a conversion with a pop top built for the cold and the warmth. So it would have underfloor heating and also a blown air heating system. Stepping out the shower and feeling that warm, toasty feeling on your feet. Yeah, I've got £1,000,000, so why not have all the luxuries? But I would also want air conditioning as well for those warmer climates. The electrical system would have to be the best of the best, with large capacity batteries, lithium iron phosphate of course, digital control panel to make sure that everything in it is being controlled. And then there'd also be some good sized solar panels on the roof to make sure those batteries stay topped up. I would want a great big large fridge freezer so I could stack on the food when I'm going out on my longer journeys, and then also dual fuel cooking just in case I run out of electricity or maybe run out of gas. But if I'm building my dream van, then I'm completely rain free. I've got £1,000,000 to spend. Why not get everything which I need? The van would be built to handle completely everything, mixed terrain, the lot. Exploring could be limitless, and with it being totally off-grid, away from civilization, I'm probably going to need the Starlink Wi-Fi system so I can maintain connectivity, even when I cross the seas and the borders, exploring other countries, which I'll come on to in a moment. That vehicle isn't a dream for some though. There are several like it already on the market. CJL Leisure, which is not too far away from me, they build some of these great adventure vehicles. Again, you'll see those at the NEC. As well do Vanworks. Now you might have seen the Vanworks, they've got the Man, and oh my word, I absolutely love the colour of that, the green one, and yeah, I do need to get out and see that. But for that size of vehicle, I certainly wouldn't be dailying it. I would want a lot more vehicles also. Yeah, probably quite a few more. And yeah, I'd also need a bigger house to make sure that I've got lots of space for these vehicles. Big driveway, maybe some land as well. Don't need a mansion, but just something a little bit bigger, just so I could have all the vehicles nicely stayed away, and also potentially some filming locations for me as well. Just something a bit better than what I've got here, because yeah, I definitely keep my YouTube channel going. I certainly love it. But my daily driver is a tough one. because I've always liked the BMW M5 or Audi RS6 or maybe the AMG E63. I just love that sound and that emotion of the petrol engine. But I also love the practicality of a van. And I think I've got an itch which I really do need to scratch. The other day I went to see a client for my day job, and I was up in Bridgewater, and a garage which I drive past quite regular is Marshall Volkswagen up there. And they've generally got quite a lot of stock outside, which you can see on the roadside because it's just on this corner. And I've never actually been in there, like, ever. But there was a few things which I saw, and it really kind of got my interest. So after my appointment, I just thought that I'm going to go back and I'm going to have a look. They had so many vans: crafters, T6.1 transporters, multivans, California Oceans, ID.Buzzes. ID.Buzzes? Is buzzes the plural of buzz? Don't know. There was a lovely selection of Sportline transporters as well, panel vans and Kombis. And I think I probably lapsed them all about 3 times just having a good look around. And it looked like the food van had just arrived for the staff, so all the staff were tucking into the lunches, so didn't really have much time to be speaking to me, I don't think. Or maybe they just avoided me because maybe I had that aura of I'm not a buyer, so which actually was probably a positive for me, because I was rather interested in some, and yeah, I might have been easily led. Now, I'd love to have one of those genuine sport lines with DSG. That could definitely be on that list of more vehicles, especially if I did have somewhere to store one to keep that mileage low. Not a garage queen, but just a one, just to keep fresher than the others, because I think that is a vehicle that might be well sought after in years to come. However, what really did take my fancy, and I have to be honest, I still can't get it out of my head now, was the ID.Buzz. I think that is an itch which I need to scratch. There were several of them there for sale, and there was this specific one which was the bay leaf green. Long-term viewers will know I like bay leaf green. That really appeals to me. And if I received an incredible offer, and maybe, just maybe, but for now, without a great influx of cash, I couldn't afford one. So I couldn't afford one to have my transporter and a Buzz. So it's going to have to wait, unless somebody fancies providing me one on a long-term loan. Anyway, the point of this is a daily driver, which can be utilised like a Kombi, carrying cooking facilities, a place to eat and drink, yet fun to drive, and really practical. It has to be brilliant around towns, cities, and no problem accessing those narrow lanes to some of my favourite places. Let's not have that argument today about the perceived negatives of some of these electric vehicles. There really are lots of positives for them, and they definitely do have a purpose. I would love one as a daily, and if I did have the money, then to be honest with you, I would definitely be buying one. But don't worry though, I would still want another van, obviously a transporter. And for now, that would be a T6.1, the DSG 4Motion, including all the options, electric doors, electric tailgate, etc. Quite highly sought after. Certainly something which is very difficult to get hold of new at the moment, and it would be very likely to have the Eco Wagon treatment and have California bed on rails, an electric Remo pop top, again lithium iron phosphate large capacity batteries, a fridge, cooking facilities. I would also have some all-terrain tyres fitted, which again would be on VB air suspension, self-leveling, so it doesn't roll around when you stop off. You put your plates on, your cups on, and they're nice and straight, nice and flat, and also you're not rolling out of bed. A really good system, but it isn't cheap. But I've won £1 million, so I can put it if I want to. It would also have to have the integrated paddleboard pump, so I could easily inflate my paddleboard or my kayak. And it would also have a hot shower, although it wouldn't be an internal wet room like my crafter would. It'd probably be a tailgate shower or maybe an extra long reach one, so I could have a tent toilet cubicle maybe outside. It would also have the sport seats in leather, of course, and obviously going to be heated, and maybe a heated steering wheel as well. Make sure your hands are warm in the colder weathers. Maybe though, if I've got a fully kitted out all singing and dancing crafter, it might be a little bit excessive. But if I could afford better, then why not? Or perhaps I could just stick to a day van setup, or maybe a cheaper, even the new California Ocean. Yeah, I know I can't really say it's cheap, but for 77,500, in comparison to some of the other vans which are around at the moment, which are similar priced and aren't Volkswagen qualified, then the California Ocean could be a no-brainer. But something else I would definitely want to be buying if I'd come into some money would be an old school Beetle. I've had a few in the past and they're really fun to drive in a very different way to modern cars are. I haven't had one for about 20 years, but I saw one this week and it reminded me how much I absolutely loved mine. And this was one which was recently bought by TRM Automotive in Saltash, and as you can see, it's a little bit on the low side. It isn't even on air ride just yet, so it's not exactly easy or relaxing to drive at the minute, but they will be putting air ride on it and making it far more drivable so it can maintain that low stance but still be able to get around without you worrying that you're going to ground it and damage something. Maybe I'll talk about this more in the future, but it's had a full restoration. Believe it or not, it's very solid underneath, even though the paintwork on the top wouldn't suggest it. Although, looking inside, you need to make sure that you heed the warning of this warning sign. Anyway, this is a car I would 100% want to buy if I could. It wouldn't be the only old school purchase though. There is a company in North Devon that I really need to get up and see, just for my own benefit, and that's a company called Resto House. They have a variety of vans for sale throughout the ages, including modern ones like this one at the moment, which they've got for tailored campervans, who I'm actually going to be going up there seeing them soon. But that's not what I'd be looking to buy from Resto House. This is currently a vehicle I really quite like, and that is a 1962 Splitty. It would match my bay leaf green two-tone ID.Buzz absolutely perfectly. I could see them sat next to each other in my new house on the driveway. Be absolutely perfect. But this one's got a Chico Racing performance engine. Sounds fast, but I'm not quite sure it'd be that fast. But in a body like this, then perhaps you certainly are going to feel that emotion. Perhaps it is fast. Maybe the owner might want to take me out for a spin in it sometime. There is a wide range of vans and campervans there that I would buy and still have lots of money left. Well, most of it actually, if I won £1 million. Well, depending on how much the houses I'd want to buy. But then the money which I have got left, then I'll be able to spend on better experiences. And let's face it, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Having the campervans, it's getting out there and having the experiences. I would like to visit more places in the UK, spend lots of time in Wales, going up Snowdon, the Lake District, the Scottish Highlands, the Peak District, Northern Ireland. I would also like to travel to colder climates, Norway, Sweden, Finland, experience the Grossglockner, travel to warmer climates as well, the south of France, Spain, further deeper into Europe and Italy to see some of the lakes and beautiful things around there. And with all those places, lots of different varying terrains, the extremities of the weather, long journeys and the amount of exploring I would be doing, it'd definitely be a reason why to have my big van kitted out as much as I possibly could. I'd also love in Europe to go to Germany and see the VW museum and also the Porsche as well. Yeah, that's something else I'd probably buy, a Porsche 911. Not necessarily a new one. I do love the Porsche 911s. And perhaps I could even start making a living out of my YouTube channel, spend a bit more time on it, spend more time in the great outdoors, experiencing these different vans, enjoying the experience even more and just enjoying the lifestyle. We're not here for long, we need to enjoy it, we need to make the most of it while we can. I would be sensible and invest for the future as well, by seeking financial advice of course, because none of this is financial advice, and also investing for the now. Although it's not really investing for the now, is it? It's more like spending, but you are investing in yourself because you are investing in your health, your well-being, having a better quality of life. And it is a fact, don't forget, from that survey which I've mentioned before, us people who enjoy the outdoor lifestyle do have a better quality of life. And with £1 million, we could perhaps go away more frequently, longer durations, spend more money on campsites, better facilities, do the same but only better. Sometimes we come across things in our daily lives which can be deemed or said to be expensive, but actually could be worth the money. For example, if we're talking about a football match or a concert, you might be able to buy a ticket to get in for 30 quid, But you could also pay £150 for a hospitality ticket, which comes with the ticket, table service, a 3-course meal, a comfy seat. Is that expensive? Well, yeah, it could be said that it is. But if you had the money, is that better experience, a better way of doing it? Perhaps it is, but it isn't for everybody. Sometimes you can have a better experience by being amongst the atmosphere, in the crowd with all the passionate supporters, rather than being all nice, cosy and warm with the prawn sandwich brigade. And don't get me wrong, by the way, I do both, and I enjoy both of those different experiences. You're experiencing the same, but you're experiencing it differently. Like, how about staying in a hotel rather than a campervan? Like I said at the start, would you sell your campervan? Because now you can go overseas. You can go on these overseas holidays much more and stay in hotels. I imagine for most of you, that answer is going to be no. You wouldn't sell your campervan. You would probably just improve it, buy a new one, or several like me. You could still have those overseas holidays as well, but you would still probably enjoy the same lifestyle as we do now. Because we do this now for the lifestyle, not to save money on holidays. Our campervans can give us a different holiday every single day, if we had the time. And as much as I would love a new campervan, or spend money on a much older one like my Splitty, it doesn't matter what we drive. We can still visit the same beautiful places, have the same experiences. We just have to get out and enjoy it. But let's not forget that not all campervans are advertised honestly. Don't fall for the sales patter. You can see that here. Or have a look for some amazing vans here. Take care, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon.